So you said you live in Vancouver, and that's where you basically, because you follow the work, that's where you keep your stuff. So it's not so much.
That's where I keep my stuff.
That's where you're. I understand, because quite often my stuff has been where I am not. That happens a lot. But what keeps you in Vancouver as your
Well,
home?
quite frankly, a lot of the sci-fi shows that have, I mean, with X-Files was the first one that sort of brought the sci-fi genre to our shores, to Vancouver. We've benefited a lot from the proximity, same time zone as Los Angeles, 2-hour flight. But at that time also what brought a lot of productions up was the weaker Canadian dollar. Right, and with the production budget as they are, every dollar that they have, they try to put onto screen. So they go to these jurisdictions where it's cheaper to film. That's not the case anymore, especially with the Canadian dollar and the tax incentives being what they are. Shows are shot in Louisiana, Michigan, places all over the world. So Vancouver has got a little bit more work ahead of it in terms of bringing in more sci-fi shows. It still has quite a few. I mean, Arrow is being shot there. Oh my gosh. Supernatural off the top of my head. Yeah. That's why all planets look like forested, look like the West Coast. I mean, it was all the Stargate producers could do to find a zero impact landscape, which means no evidence of telephone lines or houses.
They should have just gone to...
Yeah, they could do that here in Halifax.
I was going to say
on,
Edmonton, man. There's
Edmonton,
a blasted landscape.
That's...
We've got one person from Edmonton
yeah.
who laughs but doesn't disagree.
Let's-
That's how...
Let's alienate, where the streets have no name. Let's alienate the entire Canadian population. No, but so that sort of X-Files started it, and you know, Smallville, Eureka, the Stargate franchises, Almost Human now. Some of the J.J. Abrams projects are coming up there. So there's several studios that are set up and have these shows running, and they're really great because, as opposed to a major blockbuster, when it comes in, it hires its handful of actors, its crew, and then it sits there for a year filming, and it's great. But there's not the kind of turnaround with a sci-fi show or television, episodics as they're called. Every week, a new crop of actors is needed. So, in answer to your question, why I've stayed there is the work. There is. I mean, it's dwindled a little bit recently, but there's still enough work around to be able to.
See, I was hoping for like something feel good, and it's hardcore. Nah, just do it. That's where I'm gonna work. My family doesn't live there. You know, there are people I just hate who live in my building, but
our mayor doesn't smoke crack.
Oh. Your mayor is just smart enough not to admit it on
He
television.
smokes salmon. Yeah. It's Vancouver, so probably something else too.
You have a question?
Actually, just going to follow up on one of the doctor's great questions, saying you had a lot of digital stuff, but there were a lot of very, very good sets that they had built, like they built the gate room and such.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite set from Atlantis?
The gate room was wonderful. It was really a beautiful. Has everyone been to Vancouver here? Yeah, you go. They offered set tours back in the day when we were around, and that was the showstopper because it's a 2-story. The Bridge Studios are named after. It was a bridge building, a factory, and the Golden Gate Bridge, for example, was built in Vancouver, assembled obviously in San Francisco, and as is the Vancouver's Lionsgate Bridge. And the reason why I made it transformed into a great studio is that there was no supporting arches in the building, so you could build a huge set inside and still be covered. So we built. They built the big the gate room. And it featured the gate and all the effects that, and the gate is a pretty neat device. You know, the fact that you can go through a wormhole and notwithstanding. But they would put the gate down, for example, into the floor, and it would transform into the cantina, into our lunchroom. Right?
Oh.
Tricks like that.
Did the actual did all the bits move, or was that animated after the fact?
No, that was animated after the fact. And I don't think, did our gate I don't think it
No,
moved.
no,
didn't
yours
move.
just lit up.
Yeah, ours just lit up. Ours was very disco. Ours was
Yeah,
very
yeah.
90. Yeah. We were the Las Vegas show. SG1 was the one that moved. Yeah, our chevrons would lock in, and then the puddle effect. And they were very careful the way they shot that, because the puddle effect is quite expensive to produce with processing time. So whenever there was scenes that were shot in the gate room, they would do just what's called block shooting, which the camera would be put on one side, and all the scenes that had the Stargate in it would be shot in one day this way. You know, scene 14, scene 54, scene 72, all of them facing that way, so that they didn't have to relight and redo it. And then when they turn it around and we're looking at the gate, you got that shimmering look, and it's just grips with cellophane. Going, you know, so you get that shimmery water looks. So that was a great set. And off-site, out of the Bridge Studios in Burnaby, which is just about 10K down the road, was an old abandoned bike-making factory called Nykl, and that's where our Wraith set was, dripping in latex and rubbery stuff.
We've got time for one more question.
Oh.
So
Time flies.
Okay, hello.
Hello.
Hi. I was wondering, for your character Zelenka, did you have a contract and know you're going to do so many episodes, or was it just you do an episode and then you'd finish and you go, oh, maybe I'm never going to come back again, but they call you anyways? How was your
Exactly. I had no idea.
No? So
No.
you kept getting called
Yep.
back and getting called back?
Yeah, yeah. It's, I've gotten used to it, but I mean, when I hear people talk about job security, I go, job security?
yeah, you don't live on the East Coast. That's how everybody does it out here.
Yeah.
Job security. That's
Yeah.
cute.
So, yeah, I would get a manila envelope on my doorstep, and it was like the script, and I'd flip it open and look to the last page, and Zelenka's still talking, so okay, well, good. Lives to see another day. Yeah, you kind of get used to it. It was a sort of an ongoing day playing thing. I didn't know in season 1 that I'd be around in season 5, and I mean, give the producers credit. They don't know either. They don't know what kind of an actor you are. They don't know. So it's a relationship that sort of develops, and then they either decide to or not. So not for me. They just kept me going 5 years that way. That turned out to be a lot of fun. And they say that the Stargate, you know, that you step through it and really on set nothing happens but I've stepped through it and you end up in places like Halifax, so it's well worth it.
That was very nice. I want to thank David Nykl, just because you will not call me Andy ever again.
Got it.
I want to thank David Nykl for coming in. Let's hear a big round for
thanks a lot.
David Nykl. Thank you.
Hal-Con.